What is snapping wrist or snapping ECU, and how can you overcome it? I'm Dr. David, orthopedic surgeon, sports medicine specialist, and author of That's Gotta Hurt, the injuries that change sports forever. I provide education, information, and commentary on all sorts of sports and exercise, injuries, injury treatments, and injury prevention for athletes and active people so that you can stay healthy and perform your best. Now, snapping wrist may be something you've never heard of, but it's actually more common in sports than you might think. The extensor tendons are the tendons on the back of your wrist that help extend your wrist, pull the wrist back. And there's a variety of different ones, but the one on the side closest to the little finger is called your extensor carpi ulnaris, or ECU. It helps pull up your little finger. But all of those extensor tendons are held in place by a band of tissue, a sheath. And what can happen is you can tear part of that sheath with a sudden motion where you go to twist your wrist, say swinging a baseball bat or hitting a golf shot, something like that, and it tears that tissue on the back of your wrist. What then happens is the ECU tendon can snap back and forth on that bony prominence at the base of your wrist on the side of your little finger, what's called your ulnar styloid. Then you get this snapping sensation on the back and what we call the ulnar side of the wrist, that side of the wrist at the base of your little finger. You go to maybe hit a tennis shot, you go to hit a golf shot, and those tendons just snap back and forth. It's painful, it's aggravating, and it just drives you crazy. You get this popping sensation on the back of your wrist. The problem too, long term, is if that tendon keeps sliding back and forth, that tendon can gradually fray and ultimately tear. So if somebody has that, we typically treat it, especially right after the injury occurs. In theory, if you get to it early, it's possible if you put somebody in a cast or a splint that holds the wrist really still, maybe that sheath that holds the tendons in place on its own might heal on its own and you might avoid surgery. But for a lot of high-level athletes, a lot of the hand and wrist surgeons will actually go in and repair that sheath to basically get it to heal, holding those tendons in place. If it's a problem that's been going on a long time, sometimes they actually have to do what we call a reconstruction, where you sort of rebuild that tendon sheath to keep the tendons in place. So surgery is sometimes, frequently actually, an option. But it is a surgery that once it's healed, you get all your motion and strength back, you can get back to sports and do very well. So if you have a tendon that's snapping on that side of your wrist, especially if you can see it snapping back and forth sometimes, see a hand or wrist surgeon. There may be something that they can do to get you back to whatever sport or exercise it is that you love to do. Do you have snapping wrist, and how did you get over it? What did your doctor or surgeon do to help you overcome it? I'd love to hear your experience, and honestly, I think viewers all around the world would love to hear your experience as well. So below this video, please describe your experience so we can learn how you got over it. Now, I would love to hear the biggest challenge that you face with your injury. In the description below this video, I've included a link where you can click on it and describe your injury challenges in as much detail as you want. Because honestly, I want to better understand your injury so I can create content, maybe courses and programs that help you as much as possible. So click the link in the description box below to describe your injury challenges. Now, I record several videos like this every week. Plus, I do live videos sometimes where I answer questions as well. And if you want those sports and exercise injury treatment, injury prevention videos, and you want to be notified, especially when I'm live, subscribe to my video channel. Click the subscribe button in the upper right corner of the page and you'll get notified right away. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you right here next time.